Hey guys, what is up? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far, and welcome to my fifth and final review for the leaked Steven bomb, which is That Will Be All. If you do not want to be spoiled by anything, do not watch any of my reviews, do not watch this review, do not watch any of the reviews that I have put out about the other episodes, do not watch any of my reactions that I have put out. They will ruin everything for you. They will spoil everything for you. So please do not watch these if you want to remain completely blind to all of the episodes planned for the Steven bomb. So with that, we have That Will Be All, and this is probably my favorite episode out of all of them. I mean, I know in my reaction I said, like, the first two were really solid. What I meant was, like, the first episodes of Steven's Dream and then the last one were really solid. I mean, they were so good. We learned so much in this episode, and we got a song. I mean, just God, it was so awesome. But we start off with Greg and Steven being captured by an amethyst and then getting thrown into, like, where all the amethysts and beta jaspers that, you know, are not the Jasper that we already know. They're kind of like weak and scrawny, where they're all being kept, and that was so awesome to see all these amethysts, and like Amethyst was like getting to know her people because she had never met other amethysts, and like they're all like Amethyst, which is so awesome that they're all just like these goofy, kind of like laid back, you know, silly gems, which I thought was so awesome that's, you know, that's like their personality for all of them, because I was really worried that like all the amethysts were gonna kind of be like the Jasper that we know, you know, this big tough brute, you know, but I'm so glad that all the amethysts are just like our amethysts. It was so awesome, you know. And then we got to meet, you know, beta jaspers and stuff like that, you know, like you had like a really skinny one. I think it's funny because back in beta, Amethyst was like, yeah, I'm gonna defeat Jasper for everybody, and Skinny over here, and I was like, oh, that's probably the one from beta that, you know, Amethyst was like, yeah, I'm gonna fight Jasper for you. So that was just awesome. It was just so awesome seeing all of them just like in one place. It was just so great. I was so happy for Amethyst. And then Holly Blue Agate comes back, and she just starts like beating these amethysts. I mean, there was so much like abuse. I feel so bad for these amethysts because they just look like they just get abused. You know, I mean, they're tough and brutish. You know, I mean, I think they could like take it, but I mean, just like that's no excuse to, you know, beat these like bodyguards and soldiers that you have. I just feel so bad for them. They look like they're treated worse than like pearls almost. I mean, we've never really seen pearls treated, you know, besides, you know, the pearls that we have seen. You know what I mean? If any indication, I mean, yeah, pearls are just servants based on how, you know, Holly Blue Agate was treating our pearl and stuff. So, yeah, no, that was just sad to see. But, you know, Steven and Greg basically, like, have to get away from Holly Blue Agate so they don't get caught. And eventually they make it to Blue Diamond's room. Not really her room, but like where she is. And, you know, you see all these bubble gems, and at first I was like, oh, so like bubbling does exist, you know, outside of, you know, the crystal gems bubbling, corrupted gems in the temple. And I was like thinking about all these theories and stuff like that. I had no idea that they were like even like Rose Quartz. It just like it completely went over my head until they actually like said something about it. And I was just like, oh my god, they're all Rose Quartzes. Because, you know, I figured there were more Rose Quartzes, but like it was never mentioned really. Like everyone always just referred to Rose Quartz as Rose Quartz. She seemed like a very special, you know, important like type of gem, not necessarily saying that she was like the only one, but like it's super insanely rare since she was the only one that was ever like mentioned before. And, you know, and then we just have this entire room of just bubbled Rose Quartzes, and I mean, like, I freaked out. I was just like, oh my god, this is where they all are. You know, but Yellow Diamond comes along then. I was super excited when Yellow Diamond came along because I knew she was going to be showing up at some point during the Steven bomb. I'm like, it's been a year. I'm like, there's no way they can just like go a year plus without showing Yellow Diamond again, since she's such a huge part of Gem Society. But anyway, so she shows up and she's talking to Blue Diamond, and she's like, you know, why do you keep coming here, you know, to Pink Diamond's zoo if you know it's going to make you feel worse, you know? And she's like, we should shatter all these Rose Quartzes, you know, which is just, it was so crazy because I'm like, this is where they all are. This is where all the Rose Quartzes are. They're just here, bubbled in this room, you know, on Pink Diamond's one of her colonies, you know, like in like a human zoo. I was like, no one could have predicted that. That's like where all the Rose Quartzes are, like Pink Diamond's human zoo colony. That's where all the Rose Quartzes are. And then we get a song from Yellow Diamond, which I was hoping it was gonna be in the Steven Bomb. If you haven't seen my video, I made a video about who the palanquin belonged to, like Pink Diamond or Rose Quartz. And I was like, well, you know, Dee Dee Magno Hall said that she did some like backup singing for Patti LuPone, who is the voice actress of Yellow Diamond, and then lo and behold, you know, she gets a song in this episode, and it was like so great to like get a villain song basically in the show, because I mean before, you know, it's usually like Steven or the Gems singing, I mean, which is awesome and great. I love all of Rebecca Sugar's songs, and you know, because a lot of the Croonerverse helps with the music, a lot of them play instruments and stuff like that. You know, Rebecca Sugar is like the main person who does the music, and then Aivi and Surasshu are the ones who do like the score and stuff like that. I think it's just so great to have like a very musical, you know, Croonerverse basically to, you know, help with the music and stuff like that. And I think that's awesome, and I love all the songs that they do. But it was just so great to get Patti LuPone, you know, a villain of the show, to sing a song. It was so awesome. You know, and there was a very interesting part here where she's like going over what all of like the purposes of the gems are. And there was one where she mentioned Lapis. Now, I didn't hear it the first time. I heard an agate terrifies, and then a Lapis T something, and I didn't catch it. And I thought she said terrifies again, but it's like, that doesn't make sense. She wouldn't say terrifies twice for two different gems. But what she says is a Lapis terraforms. And so the definition of terraform is transform a planet so as to resemble the Earth, especially so that it can support human life. Now, if you have been on this channel for a while, one of my first theory videos was, what is Lapis's purpose on Earth? And that is pretty much when I went completely unscripted. I had no idea what I was doing, so I just kind of babbled on for a while. And so, like, I put the first part of this Lapis, you know, what is Lapis's purpose on Homeworld video, and I was like, I got a new idea, and so I did a part 2, and part 2 was me saying, like, oh, what if, like, Lapis's purpose was to, like, come to Earth, and then, like, take water, and then, like, bring that back to, like, Homeworld, and, like, Homeworld-controlled planets and colonies and stuff like that, because it's like, they don't have water on those planets, and I was like, oh my god, once I found out what, you know, the lyrics actually said, I was like, oh my god, that theory is actually, like, right. So, I mean, because the thing is, it's like when they went to the human zoo, they, like, have all this water here, which is why in my reaction video, I was like, wait, they have water on here? I'm like, that's so interesting. And, you know, just, yeah, like, Lapises take water from Earth, and they probably bring it to, you know, different homeworld-controlled colonies or planets, you know, and the human zoo is one of them because humans need water. So I thought that was like super interesting because that was like a complete shot in the dark. I mean, I like had no context to that. I mean, we knew that Lapis was supposed to be on Earth for a short time, and like a lot of people thought she was a messenger, and that's kind of like what I thought too. I was like, oh, she's probably like a messenger because she can fly super fast. We know that, you know, from when she flew away in Ocean Gem, that she got to Homeworld pretty quickly. So I was like, oh, maybe she's a messenger, and she like relays information back and forth between like Homeworld and Earth, or, you know, whoever she has to report to. But then it was just like, well, she can take water. Like, why would that be her initial reaction to take water and try and reach Homeworld? I'm like, she has to have like some reason for doing this because she probably knows that she's able to do this. So if you want to check out that video, it's a very old video. It probably sucks because it's literally just like me babbling on, but I'll leave that video in the description box somewhere below, or like on the screen somewhere if you want to check that out. But yeah, no, I was like super happy about that because Lapis is one of like my favorite characters. So the fact that like her purpose, like I guessed her purpose, I was like so happy about that. I was like, yes. So that was huge, but the song itself was like super awesome, and like, you know, like you kind of feel bad for Yellow and Blue Diamond, honestly, because like, you know, I mean, Yellow Diamond is definitely like the more aggressive of the two diamonds. I mean, Blue Diamond seems very passive. Like I said before, like I know that Blue Diamond wanted to shatter Ruby, you know, and that's based on gem society and culture and fusion and how they look at that. But, she does seem more passive out of, I guess, the two diamonds that we now know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Pink Diamond was like and what White Diamond will be like. But she definitely seems like a lot more calm and relaxed and passive than Yellow Diamond. So it was interesting to see, like, the two different personalities there. But, I mean, like, you feel bad for them because you can tell how much they cared about Pink Diamond and, like, that she's gone. I mean, it kind of seems almost like a sisterhood kind of a thing. They like lost a sister. They lost like a member of their family, and they're like clearly upset about it. I mean, you get to see like Yellow Diamond clearly be very distraught and upset about, losing Pink Diamond. And, the song is called What's the Use of Feeling? And I believe it's in parentheses blue. I'm not completely sure, but I mean, the fact that the title of the song is that What's the Use of Feeling, parentheses blue, I mean, it's kind of like Yellow Diamond saying, what's the use of feeling at all? Feeling just makes you hurt. You can definitely see some of Yellow Diamond's issues with losing Pink Diamond kind of like being pushed onto Blue Diamond, because, Yellow Diamond doesn't seem okay with grieving. Blue Diamond wants to grieve, and, like, that's okay, and the thing is, it's been, like, 5,000 years since, Pink Diamond was shattered, which is, crazy to think about, but, 5,000 years to a diamond is probably, like, nothing, which makes sense as to why they want to continue to grieve, and the fact that, Earth is going to be destroyed by the cluster, because I know the cluster is going to come back. There's no way that conflict was resolved with just bubbling, that's going to come back later, and Blue Diamond wanted to go back to Earth and, get one last piece of, Pink Diamond's legacy, as she said in Steven's dream, and try and bring Greg back to the zoo, to preserve Pink Diamond's legacy. Just really interesting stuff here, with the diamonds and everything like that. Just, God, I'm so curious about White Diamond and Pink Diamond, and just, God, but, like, really great scene between Yellow and Blue, really great song. Like, props to Dee Dee Magno Hall, because I know that she had to sing Yellow Pearl and Blue Pearl, and, change her voice. I'm sure there was, like, a little bit of, like, some sort of auto-tuning, because they did kind of sound like robotic almost, but I thought it was really clever how they worked in, like, the diamond theme with the song. I thought that was really clever and a really great job by them. But after the song, we get Sapphire, Pearl, and Ruby coming back with Holly Agate to talk to Blue Diamond, and I thought that they were gonna get found out for sure. I was like, oh god, this is not gonna end well, but it actually ended relatively okay, I guess as okay as things could be. But you get, Holly Agate like, oh, they made that special delivery that you asked for, and Blue Diamond's like, I didn't ask for a special delivery. And Holly Agate's like, oh, of course you did. You asked this Sapphire to do it. And, Sapphire starts freezing up because she doesn't know what to do. And, Ruby, grabs her hand, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cute and adorable. I died. My heart just, melted. I thought that was so adorable and so sweet and so cute. And Blue Diamond's like, oh yeah, the window to get, life forms from Earth, the window's closing for that. And so she was like, oh yeah, no, I'm sure you did see a vision of me asking you to do this. So they get away, they convince, Blue and Yellow Diamond that that's what they were there for, blah, 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 blah. They eventually get away, and, that shot of, Steve, the doors closing after they leave the room that Yellow Diamond and Blue Diamond are in, and, that shot of Steven, looking back, and then, the doors closing and the screen going black, I was just like, oh, God, there's so many questions still, because, he's clearly, still looking back at them, looking for answers. I mean, that's the whole point of this arc, is looking for answers. Steven is looking for answers, and I was just like, oh my god, we have to wait another who knows how long to get more answers for this, because I mean, this arc answered questions, but I mean, it also, it caused a lot more questions to happen. And then we get the hilarious scene of the gems trying to get back to the roaming eye, and just Holly Agate being completely oblivious because she's just like so blown away by like Yellow Diamond, because I guess she has never seen Yellow Diamond before. And like she keeps like rambling on about her, and she keeps like turning around, and like they keep hiding like Steven and Greg, and she just keeps like missing them. In particular, I really liked that scene where like they're right outside the ship, and like Pearl's like motioning them to like get around her, and she like turns around, and like they are just below her eye level, and like she can't see them, and they like, you know, like sneak by her, and she's like, nothing can ruin this day. And then she turns around and like sees them all getting into the ship, and Pearl's face is so hilarious because it's like these big eyes, and then she just like has a little X for like a mouth. It's like anime. And that was like hilarious. And then, you know, Ruby and Sapphire fuse to form Garnet, and we find out that Holly Blue Agate has like an electric like whip, which is awesome because we get to see another form of whip besides Amethysts. And then like Amethysts and, you know, the gems, Pearl, Garnet, they all make quick work of Holly Agate there. And then you like see them all leave, and you see all like the Amethysts and, you know, the Jaspers from the beta, and they're all like cheering for them, and I was just like, this is so great, because, you know, I mean, Homeworld has such like a negative connotation to them, you know, and obviously for good reasons, but, you know, I mean, we got to see, you know, other Homeworld gems who, you know, aren't bad and evil and, you know, want to kill, you know, Steven and Greg, you know, I mean, like, they're nice, they like understand each other, which I think is great, which I'm super excited, because, you know, I know in like another Steven Bomb or a season finale or a series finale even, I could definitely see like all these Amethysts and Jaspers coming back to like fight against Homeworld or whatever, you know, the big antagonist of this show is going to be, which is super, super exciting to think about, you know, and they like all get into the ship and everything like that, and like Pearl was savage at the end, because like Holly Blue Agate's just like, I'm gonna report you, you guys are all gonna be shattered, people are gonna find you, and Pearl's just like, do you really want to tell, you know, your superiors that you let a bunch of traitorous rebels, you know, into your facility under your watch and let us get away? And she like boops her nose, and she's just like, that's not very smart. And then she's like, you know, that will be all. And just like they zoom off, and I was just like, awesome job, Pearl, just like savage, just like shots fired, like dropped the mic pretty much. It was just so awesome. That was an awesome line from Pearl, like probably one of the top lines from Pearl, just given to how Pearls are treated. I was just like, yes, you go. And then we get, you know, the nice moment in the ship where, you know, Steven's like, I'm so sorry, for basically causing all this, and they're like, no, it's not your fault. And, you know, Steven comes to the realization at the end, he's like, you know, I didn't need answers, I needed you, I needed my dad. So like I said in the Adventures in Light Distortion review, I was like, you know, there's differences between wants and needs. You know, Steven wants answers, but what he needs is his family. He needs Greg, he needs the gems, you know, he needs Connie, he needs Lapis and Peridot, he needs his family, you know, in order to keep him strong. He doesn't need answers. So I thought that was just a great message. And clearly by the runtime of this review, you can tell that I really liked this episode a lot. Yeah, so I mean, this is definitely like the top episode for me out of all the Steven Bomb episodes. I just thought it was so fantastic and just so amazing and just such a good episode, especially compared to the last one, the zoo, which I was kind of like, this was like, came back just so much stronger. Just so fantastic, so great, loved it so much. Probably gonna be one of like the top episodes of season 4 so far for me, but we'll see. But again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Steven Universe related content, and until next time, guys, take care.